I am Leroy McCullough. I have been a Superior Court judge since 1989 and have enjoyed it immensely. I like seeing that I was a part of making a person's life better. And making a person's life better means that you make that person's family better. Making that family better means that it makes the community better, and it just is exponential. So it benefits me ultimately to make sure that all of the individuals that I see are living at their best.
Bruce embodied professionalism. He approached the practice of law with heart and humility. He lived it throughout his practice with the way he gave back to communities in need, with the way he treated his colleagues.
Bruce didn't like bullies, which I think was a big part of what motivated him to go the extra mile to protect free speech for everyone. He was instrumental in getting the legislature to adopt some really key protections for the press and for reporters.
He was the lawyer's lawyer. We have attorneys across the nation that would have Bruce on speed dial and ask for his advice, for his counsel, for his support, and he would give you the answer to any complex legal issue.
I fell in love with intellectual property and technology, and so now I get to help bring some happiness and fun with video games to people's lives, but I also get to work at Microsoft, an organization and a company that helps support the pro bono work and the community service work and the leadership work that I get to do in the community. Programmatic leadership and support is just one of those things that I really love and I really enjoy, and so I was fortunate enough to help start the Washington Law Student Employment Retreat in partnership with all the minority bars in Washington, as well as the Washington State Bar Association, where they get panels of leaders, recruiters, there's a LinkedIn session, there's mock interviews, there's resumes.
He is so influential with his peers, with even his mentors. I can see Tyler getting people to do as much as he does because that's the type of leader that he is.
When I first started in the Government Compliance Enforcement Division, I mentioned that Kristen Brewer was going to mentor me, and everyone described Kristen as tenacious.
We're advocating on behalf of patients and public safety, and also upholding the rule of law and standards for governance in the licensed professions. It's really not too much to ask for, to expect honesty, integrity, and competence of people the state has chosen to give a license to, so that the public can have trust and confidence in the medical profession.
Pro bono service is essential to the law. We as attorneys have a unique opportunity to expand access to justice. So we founded the Name Change Clinic about 3 or 4 years ago. A name change may not seem like a really important thing or a very complicated thing, but it really is life-saving work. Life-saving and life-changing. A lot of our work helps LGBT individuals, a lot of trans kids. What we know about the statistics of trans kids and gender nonconforming kids is that when somebody is affirmed, given dignity, taken care of, they are less likely to die by suicide. They are more likely to thrive. And to see someone's dignity affirmed, whether they're a kid or an adult, is magical. You just see light kind of shine out of that person. A clinic that partners with LGBT organizations and non-LGBT organizations is helping to keep everybody safe.
Anyone who knows Kim knows that she's always been a champion for diversity, for justice, and felt so passionately about it in everything that she did.
She took on many different leadership positions, board members, president positions, committee leadership in our local community, and even on a national level.
She was the first female person of color to serve as president of the King County Bar Association. She made it a priority to ensure that the board was recruiting diverse members for representation.
When she passed away, I was involved with some aspects of notification, and I just received email after email after email from people from all over the world who worked with her in different organizations, including Microsoft, GitHub, Seattle City Light, Stafford Fry, all talking about what an incredible mentor she was, how she always helped lift people up. She made an incredible impact.
The Washington State Supreme Court in February of 2021 found that the original law from 1971 until 2021 was unconstitutional.
The Supreme Court made this big decision about Blake and drug possession cases. Even if you unintentionally had this drug and a police officer found you, you were automatically guilty. And the Supreme Court in State versus Blake said that was wrong. Since 1971, there were like 600,000 convictions for this offense.
Anybody that paid on their legal financial obligations in that 50 years needs to have their money returned to them. So that's where the Blake Refund Bureau comes in. The Refund Bureau has refunded over $5.2 million to almost 5,000 cases.
This is a first-in-the-nation program. We are setting a standard for how to provide these vacate reimbursements in a way that is transparent with taxpayer dollars and also easy for folks that are entitled to it to access. And that's what's innovative about this, bringing together all these people to help correct a 50-year wrong in the justice system.
I was fortunate enough to work at the Supreme Court, and then I've had quite an adventure here over the last 15 years. Access to justice is something you never get to check off. You're never done. Oh, we did it. We have access to justice. I described it one time as strapping on a helmet and running headlong into a brick wall every day. And then every couple of years, the brick wall would fall down and I'd be as stunned as everybody else. But that's what you have to do to make change. You have to keep believing it can be done, keep trying it. When someone says no, ask them why, and then start getting to work on whatever that objection is and overcoming that challenge. You try long enough and hard enough, eventually you will see change. To do that, you have to be working with other people. You can never do it on your own. So to everyone doing it, thank you.
I believe Dennis is deserving of the Lifetime Service Award because that's what he did with his entire professional life. His goal was to serve the community, and particularly the people who lacked voice and power in the community. It was so clear to him that the only way the system works is if it works for everybody.
Dennis always would say, we're here to use our lives to open the doors so that other people can walk in. He had all of these dreams for having a free legal clinic in the community of Spokane.
The Carl Maxey Center was founded in 2018, and DC was a part of that group. He was legal counsel and helping that first board get established. And then in 2023, right after Sandy's passing, they were able to establish the Sandy Williams Justice Center so that we are still able to serve and do the civil legal aid. His heart really showed in his work. We truly appreciate Dennis's contribution, all his help and education, and that we will miss him, but not just for his work, but for what he meant to us.
Justice Owens was born in 1949 in North Carolina. She joined the court in 2001, I believe, and served until she was aged out. It was a goal she had. She wanted to be the first woman to age out. we, the justices of the Supreme Court, have some really important issues and we don't always agree. You could say that it gets heated now and then. And Susan had this amazing way of speaking up with a personal experience. And suddenly everyone is focused on her story because it's a folk story from her days either in Port Angeles or back in North Carolina or one of her many adventures across the world. And she would just bring the temperature in the room down. She brought to the decision making something that was beneficial to the entire state, and that is common sense, small town experience, an understanding of the adversities that we all face in life. And she was not judgmental. She understood where people were coming from, and she just accepted people for who they were and where they were in their lives. And I think it worked its way into her opinion writing. She understood that this is real people who have to live with these opinions. She just had a thirst for life. You couldn't be in the dumps around Susan. She just loved people. She was always looking for that thing that made people special, and she was able to see it and remember it and celebrate it.
I really would like to thank the Washington State Bar for being a leader in pursuing justice and equality. One of the most encouraging events was the May 1st, the retaking of the oath, where the lawyers came to say, we believe in the rule of law. We believe in the Constitution. This is the oath that we took, and we are reaffirming that. That was incredible. It sent a message out to each other. It sent a message out to the world and to the community. I think now it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. It's the opportunity for the members of the bench and the bar to make sure that all of the individuals in this community are in fact treated fairly. My shout out to all of you who organized those programs and to all of you who attended. That spoke volumes for who we are.